All right, good morning, good morning. So a great start to the AGM this weekend. It was great to have that Citizenship Town Hall. And next we have some special guests here from the Royal BC Museum who are gonna have a community conversation. So big round of applause for Jennifer Vanderzee, Yakwe Lupton Bradley, and Chris O'Connor. And please, if you can please join us a little at the front here, that would be fantastic.
I think we have power here. So, Aitz Goichol, Nequilia, Haitz Kasiam Tiascoichol, Haitz Kasiam na Takamloops, Ochtelnach na Iima Tanuch, na Iima Chasa. So, good day, my family, and good day, my dear friends. Just want to extend our gratitude, of course, to the to Kamloops and Shakwatam community for their beautiful lands and their sacred waters here. Thank, of course, MNBC, not only for gathering us together, but opening up your home for us to share time with you as well. So just raise our hands, and I'm grateful to share time with you. Asa Yahuelaptin, Achina Tzalakwangan, Ditidat and Dinatach, and my role within the Royal BC Museum is Director of Culture Transformation in DRIPA. So much of the work around equity, diversity, inclusion, and accessibility within our organization. And so happy to share this time with each of you and to be here today. And it's absolutely a beautiful location. And so thank you for allowing us to share time here. We're just going to do some introductions to ourselves and our roles within the organizations.
And hi, everyone. So my name's Chris O'Connor. I'm a Director of Community Engagement and Regional Partnerships at the Royal BC Museum.
Good morning, everyone. I'm Jennifer Vanderzee. I'm the Community Engagement Manager at the Royal BC Museum.
Great. And so we are so grateful to be here. Thank you so much for having us here as part of this important AGM. And we're really grateful to be able to spend the weekend with you as well. So we really wanted this to be an opportunity for a conversation, to share ideas together as we go forward. And it's been a real honor over the last year to work with Patrick and Mallory. We meet together every month just to check in, to find ways that we can align the work that we're doing at the Royal BC Museum with the incredible work that MNBC is doing, and find that alignment and work together, moving forward together. So it's been a real privilege and pleasure to be able to do that work together. The Community Engagement Department, in addition, as well as the Culture Transformation and DRIPA Implementation Department, has come as our new departments at the museum. And it really comes at a crucial time at the Royal BC Museum, where we need to stop, listen, rethink the way we do our work at the museum, and listen really closely and deeply with communities across the province. And that involves building trust, that involves spending time and listening, and that's part of the work that we're doing. Jen and I are part of the community engagement team. So that's what we'd like to enter into today. I wanted to give a little bit of background just to the work that's happening. It's been an eventful few years at the museum, and it's crucial transformation that's happening within the museum. How many of you have been to the Royal BC Museum before, just by raising hands? And if you haven't been to the Royal BC Museum, raise your hands. Oh, great. So it's nice to see some of you have, some of you haven't. The Royal BC Museum is located on the territory of the Lekwungen-speaking people, Lekwungen meaning place to smoke herring. It's a beautiful place. The nations there are known now as the Songhees and Esquimalt nations. And it, again, is a real honor to be able to work there and have the museum be on that territory. It is a natural and human history museum, and it's a provincial museum, so the focus is on how to best represent, how best make sense of the wide diversity both of human experience and the natural history, and the interconnections of those of that, and how the museum does that is both through its relationships, through its collections, which involve belongings, natural history specimens, artifacts, documents, images, and also exhibitions. So public-facing the way people come into the space and learn and deepen into their understanding of this place that we all call home. But there's a lot of change that's happening within that context. And one of the things is we're rethinking even what a museum means to be as a provincial museum, being in a particular part of the province, but if you live in Kamloops, it's hard to get down there. So how can the museum be relevant throughout the province in a way that's meaningful and that is driven by community, not just presented to community? So in addition to that, also we're in the process of thinking about what happens with the downtown site. If you've been to the Royal BC Museum, you know it's a museum building that's in the inner harbor of Victoria, and it's an aging infrastructure. So it's a building that needs to be either renovated or it needs to be rebuilt or some combination of that. Something needs to happen. So it's an opportunity, but also a challenge in terms of what happens with that building downtown. And then the opportunity is whatever happens with that, it allows opportunity for us to rethink with community how to present and tell stories together. In a way that's representative, that's welcoming, and that's inclusive. And on that point, maybe if it's okay, I'll pass the mic to you, Iqbal, just to add into that piece.
Thank you, Chris. And we're excited as we re-envision what the First Peoples Gallery and the potential of it can be within the Royal BC Museum. And we also acknowledge that over the 40 to 50 years of that exhibit being in place, that we missed the mark in representation of the diversity of who we are in the present and moving forward as an organization as well too. And so we have opportunity, and we've created a group of colleagues within the Royal BC Museum. VP Jody Gabrant, who is not only a curator and came from the Human Rights Museum in Winnipeg with her vast experience. She'll be leading much of the sort of curatorial initiatives that we do moving forward. And then we also have Elizabeth Peterson, who's the director of Indigenous Collections and Research. And so she'll be moving forward in relationship with community and with relatives around what's existing within our collections, and beginning conversations around what's relevant or what folks would like to have as a part of either exhibits or virtual collections, or if there are items that community wishes to repatriate as well too. And so that will be a part of that dialogue. And then of course we have within exhibits Michael Barnes and his team, who will be bringing forward the practical capacity of what can be done within those exhibit spaces as well, and the challenges of the dated infrastructure within the museum as well too, and the sensitivities to, unfortunately, because of when it was built in the 50s and 60s, some of the hazardous materials that exist within the infrastructure of the buildings as well too. And we know that Alicia, in the initial discussions last year, late last year, was very transparent that that is a part of the structure and considerations for us moving forward. What we would like to do, of course, initially is that some of the feedback we've received from many Indigenous communities around the province is that we missed the mark on representing the local Songhees and Esquimalt nations within the Royal BC Museum and reflecting the culture of the community that the museum resides. And so one of our roles and initiatives that we hope to create is kind of prioritizing the local community and how we move forward. And basically for me, how I'm thinking of it is that if we can't get it right with the local communities, and then how is that going to reflect with the other communities we begin to reach out with as well? And so it's going to be important for us to set that foundation in a way that ensures that it's mindful, it's inclusive, and it's based very much on relational, that who we're calling into those spaces are the experts in their ancestors or their collections that will be within those spaces. Because it's important for us to understand and know that that's how we wish to move forward. And so the sensitivity for us will be around how we balance it all and how we roll out our commitments to community. Because when I look at the museum myself, I think about our Métis relatives and Inuit representation within the Royal BC Museum and think we've missed the mark there as well too. And so for us to reconsider what that relationship looks like moving forward, or even the potential partnerships that can be created through that work. And so again, just extending our gratitude to Patrick and Mallory for guiding us in early conversations around that journey as well too. And so our hope as we move forward is that we'll be reaching out to communities, to folks within community, and having dialogue, having discussions. Repatriation will be a part of those conversations. Identifying collections will be a part of those conversations as well too. And then research moving forward as well. One of the things that was really clear in one of our dialogue sessions was that the practice of consent with community around collections and ensuring that when we are displaying things, that it's done in mutual agreement and understanding and that's guided by community. And so our hope is that we hit the mark this time, that we're considerate, that we're inviting all the right folks to the table as we move forward. And we can't do that without community. We can't